Well, I heard John ask the girls about speeding them up. They average 45 points a game. And so I think they made a decision that they were just going to play fast. And they did well. At times, they really put a lot of pressure on them with their athleticism, and they attacked the basket a little bit more than we actually thought they would. But we still feel like that speeding other teams up is to our advantage because of our depth. And, 11 is an unbelievable player. And I think she had like 16 or 18 at halftime, and she was just jumping up over us. But the one thing the coaching staff talked about at halftime, she's played all but 17 seconds. Can she sustain this in the third and fourth quarter? And you saw that she couldn't. It's just because we're playing 12 kids, other teams are not. We're used to this conditioning, other teams are not. But Coach Foley is a legendary coach, so I knew he would have a great game plan. He took away our three-point shooting. It's the least we've gotten off all year, but I thought our kids did a great job of adjusting to lanes being open. Caitlin was able to face up the bigs and take them off the dribble. Bria got to the hoop. Zoe got to the hoop. Haven got to the hoop. Kaysen got to her mid-range jumper. We were able to take advantage of what they were taking away from us, but we sure did miss that three-point shooting.
Even to that, you still nailed 6 of 14 for 42% from the field.
Yeah, the shooting percentages were unreal. When I was going over them at the end of the game, 61% from the field, 0.9% from three, and then 80% from the free throw line. I think any coach would take that on any given night for sure.
Y'all looked like you had a chance to really bury them in the first half. They came back at you.
Yeah, and they're a good team. They won the OVC last year. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with in that conference again this year. I have no doubt. I thought that we finished out the first half okay. I thought the third quarter was where we just got stagnant. Felt like we stayed on 75 points forever. We just never could really get in a rhythm of things going, and then they kind of made a run. And usually what we've seen when teams make a run, we make a run right back. Well, we didn't in the third quarter. I think we only got 12 shots off, scored 16 points. Well, that's not what we do. We've got to get more shots off. But then to come back and turn around and score 25 in the fourth quarter, I think the difference in this team is they made a run and they cut it to 9. We never stopped doing what we do, and then we just made a run right back at them. And I think that's the difference is we don't panic when other teams get close or other teams make runs at us. We just kind of gain our composure and keep going, and good things seem to happen because we do that.
That's the difference in this year. Last year, the number one example was the Austin Peay guy. They came all the way back. This year, y'all are stopping them before they can really put a lot of pressure on.
Yeah, I think it's just the belief in the system. Never at any time does anybody say, Coach, they've cut it to 9. Do you think we might need to slow down and run some offense? We don't do that. We just play. We just tell them to go, 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 go. I trust these kids to play this system. I think they understand what we're looking for. Now, I get aggravated sometimes when we just sling the ball around. Had 17 turnovers tonight, which is about 7 more than we're averaging. But they're trying to make plays. And you can't really fault that. They're trying to make a play, trying to get the ball to Caitlin, trying to throw ahead. And so you can't fault that effort. But I just thought that our kids did a good job on the glass when we needed to. We did a good job getting the foul line, making our free throws. And, again, we did not fold when they threw punches. We stood up and took the punch and then went right back at them. And I think that's partly because we have a veteran basketball team. But I do think these kids truly believe in what we're doing.
Haven, coming off the bench, I thought she was really, really big for you in the fourth quarter, particularly getting the ball downhill and getting, passes down low.
I told her as we were going off the floor, it's the best game she's played since she's been here. Unbelievable passes in the first half, hitting the running post, hit Ava several times. Great passes into Caitlin. This is one of the first times we've had a drop down pass to Caitlin this year. She drew the defense, dropped it down, made it easy on her. We don't get those a whole lot, but I just think the way she controlled the ball screen really put them in a tough spot because she got downhill. She either was able to create for herself or others, or she pulled the big and was able to create for Caitlin. But I thought our guard play was as good as it's been all year. I thought Bria was outstanding. And like I said, Haven was really good. Zoe got to her spots, got downhill. Kaysen got to her mid-range, made one. I just really thought our guard play was exceptional because the amount of pressure they put on the basketball is not easy. and their athleticism is superior to ours. But I just thought our kids kept their dribble, kept their head up, and really attacked. And, we worked on this, from the time we finished Austin Peay. Our assistant coaches did a great job in our workouts and in our scout telling the players exactly what was going to happen to them and how we were going to attack it. And then our kids are so coachable that they went out there and did it.
Coach, I alluded to it earlier. Bench points have been great, leading the nation. I mean, I think it might have had a 33, which might have been below average. How great is the depth in order to supplement Caitlin, Hannah, and the case when they have to come out? You throw in Ava Learn, who had 10 points off the bench, Zoe Stewart, who had 9 points off the bench, Haven, who had a couple.
Yeah, we have 8 or 9 starters, and that's the one thing as a coach is whoever invented the starting lineup, worst thing in basketball. Because the 5 best players don't always start. The 5 best scorers, the 5 best defenders. You just got to pick 5 that are going to go out and play the first shift in the way we play. But we know we've got punch and power coming right behind them. I think we have, I believe we have 8 kids that can score in double figures on any given night. I believe that. And this unselfishness of this team is what allows us to do this. Because Ava, Haven, and Zoe could start on most other teams, mid-major teams. But they're like, we understand, Coach. We understand what you need. And they come in right on that next shift, and they're ready to go. And they play hard, and they score, and they do what we need them to do. So, it really took a team buying into this and the selflessness of our team for us to be able to do this. And those 3 kids are 3 of the ones that said, Coach, I understand you need me in that second shift. So I'm okay with that, and I'm just going to go play. And they've been exceptional all year.
Tonight was also one of those nights when Caitlin got it down low, almost an automatic score.
Yeah, they decided they were going to take away the 3. I mean, I have to think that was the game plan because they didn't even send a double most of the time. We were able to spread the floor, and when you get Caitlin one-on-one and she's able to face up, she's just so strong and so gifted. And so you have to pick your poison just like we do. We have to pick our poison against the other team. Other teams have certain strengths, and you can't stop everything, so you have to decide. So I think his game plan was we're not going to let them shoot 35 threes. That's what they're shooting a game. And we're not going to let Riley Pena, have 6 or 7 like we saw at Austin Peay. But that was what was probably the best thing for us was that our kids adjusted to that. I mean, Riley even drove the ball into the lane and created for others and got herself an and one. I just think our kids really, really understood after the first couple of possessions what was going to be open and really took advantage of it.
At the end of the game, when Jenna knocks down those 2 threes, you got the sweater on. All the other, they've got their sweaters on. Everyone going nuts. Isn't that what it's about?
It's what it's about. And I think I told Jeremy before the game, the thing that this team and the way we're playing and the way they go about being for each other has allowed me to have joy. And I think that's something that's been missing at times. So much pressure, try to win. But they are so for each other. They don't care who gets the credit. They just want to win. And they show that every single day. And if it's Jenna coming off the bench making a 3, if it's, Caitlin making a bucket, the reaction's the same because they're all for each other. And that is what, makes me so proud. But I think this team's actually enjoying playing basketball, and sometimes that's not easy to do because there's a lot of pressure on these kids. There's a lot of pressure to win and to be good and to make every shot and those type of things. And they just finished finals, and we had 2 kids on the president's list, which is straight A's. We had 5 kids on the dean's list, and we had several close. I mean, these kids just go about their business and do the right thing. And I'm just really blessed and proud to have these 15 kids in our locker room.
To Western Carolina, last tune-up game before conference starts. What are you looking to see out of your team?
I just want us to stay focused because it's kind of our trip. So we play Western Carolina. We're going to spend a couple days in the mountains and let them have some cabin time and some bonding time before Christmas. But you always worry about the games right before break because they're human. They can't help to not think about the cabin, and they can't help not to think they're going home for Christmas. So that's human nature, but I feel like that we're a mature enough basketball team that we can handle our business. But we're going to take tomorrow off. We're going to go right back to work, and we're going to continue to create this system basketball that we're trying to run.
Have you seen anything with Western Carolina ahead of today?
I haven't watched them a lot because when I say I take one at a time, I take one at a time. And so I haven't watched them a lot, but they'll have some athleticism. They'll have some size. scheduling them, one, to get us close to Gatlinburg for the trip, scheduling them, two, because they're going to create these last 3 games right before conference are teams that are going to give us trouble, teams that are going to do things to us that make us uncomfortable. So that was part of the process, and they'll be no different.